Hey everyone, in this video I will show you exactly how I build an automation system that generates Lofi's videos completely on autopilot. And here is a video I recently generated from that system. So as you see, it's very good. If you look at this channel, you'll see it has 15 million subscribers, and every single video has at least 100,000 of views. So in this video, I will show you how to build your own step by step. Even if you are a complete beginner, this is a perfect intro to N8N automations. You'll learn about APIs, webhooks, also about how to connect everything together, add a Google Sheet as a database, reference between all these models. So this is a great start. If that sounds good to you, let's get started. I'm going to build everything from scratch, but if you prefer to have this template ready, all you need to do is go to the school community. I'll have this link in the description, and you'll see that there is a section here, Lofi music. You can click on it and you'll see all the resources for the video. The one you need is N8N template. So you're going to download this, and once you download it, you go back to N8N and you click here, click on import from file, and it choose the template that you just downloaded, and you'll see all this template has been imported successfully. And all you need to do is just connect your credentials and follow along. We have two workflows that we are going to work with. So I'm going to execute every one, and then we're going to see the end result. And after that, we are going to build everything from scratch. So first, this workflow, I'm going to click on test workflow. And then once this workflow done, you'll see this HTTP node here. This is going to send us the music URL. And once we click tests, we are listening now for the music URL. And once we receive this music URL, we're going to proceed with all these nodes to execute it, to generate the images, the video, and the final edited video. So we are waiting for this music URL to be able to continue with the workflow. So once we receive that URL, I'm going to show you the end result. Okay, so let's wait here. The workflow has completed. If we go to Google Sheet, you'll see that it has updated our row with the final video. If you click on that, you'll see that it's going to play the video right now. The video is very good. There's a lot of styles that this video can be generated from. And this is a part that we're going to go through and tell you how to get all this data and all the styles. So every single video will have different data that's going to generate the video from. Let's go back now to N8N. And I'm going to start adding this nodes here on the separate workflow. And I'll keep this as a reference. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to create this data, this type of data, and this data are going to be a reference for the prompt. The prompt going to take all this data and it's going to generate the image prompt and the video prompt and also the music prompt. And then we're going to take these prompts and give it to the image generation model, and the video generation model, also music generation model. So to do that, I have a template prompt that you are going to copy, go to ChatGPT, and then paste it here. And this prompt will give us like 10 rows of data that we can easily copy and go back to Google Sheet, and then I'll add it here after the last one. And all you need to do is just copy and paste, and you'll see it's not formatted right. So what you need to do is click here on data and then choose split text to column. And you'll see it's nicely formatted right inside these columns. And you can add these numbers right here. So you can drag this to here. So now you have like 10 more videos you can do. And every video you can like choose 30 minutes, 1 hour. And here also you need to drag this plant, and to do it, you just drag it to the last row. So this is all for the Google Sheet. You can copy or add the same column that I have. I will have this also in the community that you can just click here and do make a copy. And once you do that, you'll have the exact same Google Sheet as I have here. Okay, now our next step is to get this actual row. So we need to start working with this row. So to be able to do that, we will need to add the Google Sheet. So you click here and then click Google Sheet. You'll see multiple selections here. What we need is we need to get a row. So you need to search for get a row. And this is the one. So you click on get a row, and then it will ask you what is the document that you need to work with. So the document we have is called Lofi production. And what is the sheet name? So we only have one, and just choose it. So we need to only get one row. The first row, we don't care about all the others for now. We only need to have one row that's equal to blending. So as you see here, there's stages, and you'll see this one is done. It's already marked as done. So we don't need to grab this again. We only need to grab this row that has blend stage, and we only need to grab the first one. So we don't need to grab any of these followings planned, only the one that we are going to work with. So to do that, you need to go here down, and then you click on add option. And you'll need to select return only first matching row. So you select this, and for the filter, we need to filter the stages to blending. So we are grabbing only the planning stages. So this you'll see that it's grabbing the planning stages and only grabbing one of them. And that's what we need. So if we test this step, you'll see it's only, okay, so we have actually to add it here. So I'm going to test the step, and to do that, just going to add this trigger node, and then I'm going to click on test right here. So you'll see it's not bringing anything because I named this wrong. It's not blending, it's a blend. So that's why it's not returning anything. So I'm going to change it to blend. So I'm going to test it right here. You'll see it's returned one item. And this item, it's row number 7. And this one, the first one, that is blend. And as you see here, the ID is number 8 and the row number 7. So that is the one here. Okay, so after this step, what we need to do is we need to add OpenAI, because OpenAI going to take this data. I have a template prompt right here, and what this prompt to do is first define all this data from the Google Sheet, and then after instructions to generate the music prompt, the image prompt, and the video or the animation prompt, also going to output us all this data in JSON format. So I'm going to copy this, and then I add it to OpenAI. So what you need to do is just you're going to click on OpenAI, and you need to message the model right here, and just copy the prompt and add it here. You will need to add your credential. So you click create credential, and you are going to go to OpenAI platform. You'll see that inside the dashboard, there is an API key. That's what you need to select. And you click on create a new key and give it any name. And then after that, you'll click on create secret key. So you are going to copy this secret key and go back to the N8N workflow. And inside the API key, you're going to paste it here. So that's the first part here. And the second part, you need to choose what is the model. And I think you can choose 4.0. I think that's good enough. And you're pasting the prompt that we have from the other workflow. And you need to make sure that you mark this as expression not fixed, because expression is telling the N8N that we are going to get all these variables from the previous steps. So once you click on expression, you'll see that it's turned to green. That's mean that it's grabbing all these values from this previous node. And as you see, it's populated here. So here's the results. Let me actually make this bigger so you can see on the right side here all these populated. And folder assets, we don't need that because I had this before, but I'm no longer need it. So you just delete it. And I also deleted this last one. So we have this prompt for the image instructions. So we have this generate 3 separate prompts. For the music, you'll see that it's say this instruction how to create the music, and it's taking all this data from here. So it's have like some static like create, and then taking this track mode, then we taking this track, and then we adding all these variables and the characters type, the activity, the setting. So you'll see it's grabbing all this data and then add it to the prompt. So the prompt now will generate you instructions for each one of these generations. So for the music and the image, also the animations. And once you're done with that, you need to select output content as JSON. So click on this. We will test it and see that the result is going to generate us 3 prompts. So here's the music, the images, and for the animation. Next step, we need to update the Google Sheet to add this image prompt and the video prompt. So you'll add this image and prompt here. So to do that, we need to add update node, Google Sheet update node. So click here and we select the Google Sheet, and it's time you will say update or append or update row. So that's this is the one we will select. And for the document, we'll select the document we work with. And for the sheet, we will select also the sheet name. And what we need to do is to map everything. We see column to match on is we can match with ID. And the ID we are working with is this ID that we grabbed from Google Sheet. So you just drag it and drop it right here. So it's going to match this ID, and it will update anything we will put here in this field. We're only updating here the image and the animation prompt. I'm going to delete all these other columns. And then I'm going to drag the image prompt that we are generated from OpenAI. Also grab the animation prompt and add it right inside the video prompt right here. Okay, and for the music URL, we don't have this yet, and we don't need to update the stages right now. We will update this after, okay? So after you do that, we test it, click tests, and you'll see that it successfully updated our Google Sheet row with the image prompt and the video prompt. So we are going now to move to generate the actual music. So you'll see this node is HTTP node. For a music generation model, it's called Suno. So this is the platform. So you're going to go to sunoapi.org. And after sign up, it will give you free credit. So all you need to do is go to the API key and just copy this API key. And we will add HTTP node. So click on HTTP request here. And this is a node we are going to use to generate the music URL. In the method, you will click on post method. And for the URL, let me actually take you to the API documentations so I can show you how to get an API URL, or in general, like how to get the instructions for API. You can use this method to do any API calling, so you can understand inside the documentations how to get these instructions. So here you'll see there is multiple instructions. So you click on Suno API, you'll see introductions, audio generation, and we need to generate an audio. So I think this is the right one. You click on create audio generation task, and you'll see this is the instructions of the link that we are going to use, and also what is the request we need to add, like the prompt, the style, the title, and all other data that we might need. There is an important step here. When we usually use an API, we get a response. So if we're requesting the music, after this done, we can add another HTTP node with get request with an ID to get this actual URL. But Suno API doesn't have this method. What they're doing, they require you to add a webhook. And once they finish generating your music, they will send you this music URL to the webhook that you added inside the post request. So note this, because we are going to add a webhook. We're going to add a webhook to our N8N, and then we are going to send this webhook URL to Suno API to give us the URL once they finish generating the music. Okay, so you'll see here inside the body, this is the data that we need. This part here in instrumental is true. We need to make it true. And this part will be false. This API actually generates music and also generates songs. So we don't need a song, we need just the music. That's why we set this to true. And the custom mode will be false. Okay, so I'm going to copy this here. First, I'm going to copy the URL. It's right here. I'm going to add it right here in the URL. And for the authentications, you can leave it none. We are going to add the authorization key on the API key. So this one that we generated from the actual accounts. So in the API key, this is the one. So you are going to add it here. And I believe you're required to add a barrier before. So let me go back to the document. And you go to audio generations, create audio generation task. You'll see that in the authorization require you to add the barrier. So you'll do that, and then you add it before your API key. You make sure that there is a space between. And for the authorization, you are just going to add authorization. I'm going to add it here. What else they request us to add? I don't think they request anything else other than the actual body. So you'll do that. You copy it, and then we go to N8N. And inside here, you'll see send body. So we are going to toggle this. And for the body content type, we are choosing a JSON. And specify body is using JSON. So you will paste this information, and now we need to map the prompt to the one that we generated from OpenAI. And for the style, it's classical, and you can leave the title, and here the custom mode will be false, and instrumental is true. And you can leave everything. I think the negative tags will need to be removed. So I believe that. I'm not sure, but let me double check. Yeah, I think the negative is if we choose custom mode, I believe the negative will be added. But once we choose custom mode is false, we need to remove this as well. Okay, so this is all what we need. And what we need to change is a prompt. and also the callback URL. The callback URL, this is a webhook that they are going to send to once they finish generating the music. They will send us the music URL to this webhook. So you see here, I have this webhook, and this is a webhook that we received the URL. So I can actually use this one, and I'm going to switch it here. Actually, let me show you how to create it. All you need to do is just write webhook, and that's it. You just copy this. And by the way, it's post, it's not get, so just going to change that. The path is callback. So you'll see it's updated the last, after the slash here, it has been updated to callback. Okay, so all you need to do now is copy it and paste it inside the API request. So you are going to change the default one to the one we created. Once they finish the music, they'll send us the URL in this webhook here. Okay, so now we need to map the prompt. And to do that, we have to change this to expression. And I'm going to delete the prompt that they have. And then I'm going to drag the prompt from OpenAI, the one we created, and we will drag it and drop it right here. And this is an instructions of how to create the music, what kind of music we want. So after we do that, we will test this. But before we test, we have to build the other node, because we need to test and receive these. Because once we click test, they'll start generating this URL. And then after they finish, they will send us the URL right here on this webhook. So let me actually add this first, the Google Sheet. We need to update the music URL. Now we need to add a Google Sheet, because we are going to end this float, because we're not sure how long is it going to take till generating the music. So we need to mark the Google Sheet to continue, like here. So this is going to change to continue. And then once we receive the music URL, now we can keep going and we can generate the image, the video, and editing the video and everything. So for now, we need to mark this as continue. So we'll add a Google Sheet. And I'm going to actually duplicate this, because this one we was updating Google Sheet. So we need to do the same thing, updating Google Sheet, but we just need to change what we are going to be update. So we're going to open the Google Sheet, and you'll see that we have the ID, the same ID. We don't need to update the image or the video. All we need to update is the stage, and the stage will be continue. And that's it for the first workflow. So we're generating the image, the video, the music prompt, and then we adding the image prompt and the video prompt to Google Sheet, and we sending the music API to generate the music URL or the music in general, and then we updating the Google Sheet to continue, so we can resume after we receive the music URL. And the reason I added the image prompt and video prompt right here, because once we done with this workflow, there is no way for us to know what is the image or the video prompt, because we are moving to a different workflow. So this Google Sheet is act as database, so we can reference and go back to between any workflows. So now I'm going to test this, and you'll see that we are going to receive the webhook after like few minutes. So I'm going to click here. You'll see that we received 200 and success. This means that they received our request and they are working on it. And now we need to update the Google Sheet to mark this row as continue. Right here, it marked it as continue. Now we are going to move to this next webhook workflow. So before we move, let me explain what we're doing. We first generating the image, and then after it's done, we are generating the video animation. And then after that's done, we combine the video generation with the music, and then updating the Google Sheet to change the stage to done. You'll see here there's some logic like if logic, and the reason of that because when they sending us, let me first test here to receive the request once it's done. You'll see that they sending us multiple callback to our webhook. There, some of them is not important. They give us like some data that we don't need, and we only need one of the request or the callback that they send to us. And that's why I add an if node, and you'll see that the conditions is the source underscore audio underscore URL, the first one, because when you send this request, they will going to give us two audio URL, and we just need one of them to be able to do the video. So I only choose one of them. So that's why it is going to give us the first one. And if this is exist, we are going to continue, because you'll see before we get this one, we're going to receive multiple callback, and this callback, it doesn't have any audio URL. That's why we don't need to proceed with the workflow. So I only add a conditions to proceed if we actually have this URL that we are going to need to be able to proceed. So that's why we have this URL as an exist. Okay, I'm going to delete this one. And we need to wait to receive the music. And then we're going to continue. If we actually go to execution, because we can't view the data here, you have to click on execution to see the second workflow. So you'll see that we have in the second webhook, we have the data came, and if you click on it, you'll see that we have the audio URL. There's two of them. There's two data cames, this one and this one. And what we need to grab is the first one, and we are going to grab source underscore audio underscore URL. I'm going to go back to our editor, and I pin this node to be able to work with the data. Okay, so you'll see the data here is received, and we have two audios. It's generated two audios, and we just need one of them to make the video. So we are going to choose the first one, which is this one. And what we need is the audio URL. This is the one that we need. So we are going to add if nodes. And the if node is basically logic to be able to filter what we need. So we're adding a logic here with a value, and the value is the source audio URL. So we are just telling this if node, if we have this audio URL, we need to continue. So the equal, it's equal to. So here we adding if this link is exists. So just click on string and add exist. So what is going to happen if it exists is going to output true. So we can move to any different node. But if it's false, we don't need to do anything. So I'm going to add nothing. So nothing, going to do nothing basically. So the reason of that, we're adding this node because when we generate the URL or when we're sending the request, they're going to give us back multiple callbacks, like maybe two, I think. The first one is nothing. They're not going to give us the audio URL. They're just going to give us like I think images, which we don't need, like the image URL. We don't really need the image. So that's why we're adding nothing, because if we haven't received the URL here, then we are not going to continue. The only reason we are going to continue if we receive the actual audio, not the images or anything else. Okay, so after the if node, if it's output true, it means that we have the audio. Now we need to continue the workflow. So to continue the workflow, we need to grab everything we have generated from this workflow. And if you remember, we have added everything that has been generated from this workflow to Google Sheet, so we can be able to reference it in this workflow. If it's output true, then we are going to continue with our workflow. And to be able to continue to our workflow, we need the image and the video, because this is what we are going to generate it. We need to generate the image and the video, so we need the prompt that are going to give to the generation models to generate us our assets. And if you remember, in this workflow, we have done early. We have generated this image prompt and the video prompt. We saved it to Google Sheet to reference it inside this workflow. So that's why it's very important to add the Google Sheet, because without it, we can't really get this data unless we do some more complicated stuff that we don't really need to do. So here you'll see inside the Google Sheet, we have the image prompt and the video prompt. So we need to get this video and the image. So you'll see the stage is continue. So we are going to look for the stage that has values continue, and we are going to get this data from it. So what we need to do is we first need to get the rows that has the stages equal to continue. So we will add Google Sheet, and then we are going to locate get row. And we add the same document of the Lofi production and also the same sheet. And we are adding a filter, and we're looking for the column that has the stages, and the value is continue. And then we are returning the first row. I don't think it's really important to add this because we only have one row is continue, because we usually make this workflow as continue, and then after we're done with it, we're going to mark it as done, but we can just add this. It's not going to cause any issue. So once we do that and we click on test, you'll see that it gave us the row that has the image prompt and the video prompt. So what we need to do now is generating the actual image, and then take this image and give it to an video AI models to animate the image. So you'll see here what we did is we added the generation image model. If we open the previous one, you'll see that we have this flux image generation model. So I'm going to copy this link and going to add different, and then I'm going to add a HTTP node. And the message will be post. Also, the URL is here, but let me actually show you how we can get this URL and how we can read the API document to be able to fill all the instructions. So the platform called replicate.com, I have it open right here. So first thing, you need to sign up, and you need to add a billing, and then generate the API token. So after this, you'll see that it has a lot of models, and I think the model we need is called Flux. There's multiple Flux model, and this is the one we are using. So once you click it or click any other model, you'll see that they have the same structures for how to find the API's instructions. So here you'll see there is an API. So you are going to click on that, and you'll see that what we're doing here, we're using HTTP. So once you click on it, you'll see that there is some instructions, and this is curl, where you just can use curl for this instructions. But what we're using is HTTP node. So what you can add this link, it's right here. You'll see that they have this link, and they have the API key, and also inside the headers, there's content type, application JSON. And this one here, we don't really need it. And the input, you'll see that they have a prompt. And This is all we need. We also need to specify what's the aspect ratio. So to get more data of how to add this aspect ratio, you can click on learn more. You'll see here that they have also the schema, and the schema is what they expect you to add inside the body of the request. So this is all this stuff that you might add. They not all required, but there's some option stuff here. But what we need is a prompt, and we also need the aspect ratio. So I'm going to copy the link and show you how to add all the others data. So here you're going to grab the link, and then you're going to add it right here. We already added, but just show you how to add it. And you'll see that they need multiple headers. So you need to select send headers. And here you're going to add all the headers that are required. So if you go back, you'll see that this one authorization, and I'm going to copy it. And for the API key, I already have one generated, but you can generate one as here. You can click here, click on the API token, and then it will tell you create a new token. And then after that, you can copy it and paste it here. I'm going to go back and actually generate a new one. So I'm going to go to API token, then click any names you want, and then click create. And you can copy it and go back to the N8N and add it here. Make sure that there is one space only after the barrier, and then you paste your API key. Also, we have another header. So you'll see add a parameters header, and then you'll copy the other header inside the API documentation. So the other one is content type. And for the value is application/JSON. So I'm going to paste it here. So this is all we need inside the header. Our next step to add the body. And this is an input that they are going to receive. So you click on body content type, make sure it's JSON, and for the specified body, you're going to using JSON. And what you need to do is you're going to copy this part here and then add it to this box here. Just paste it. And you'll see that it has a prompt. We need to map this prompt from the one that we generated, which it's inside the Google Sheet. So I'm going to delete everything inside the quotation mark, and then I'm going to drag the prompt from the Google Sheet. So after you drag it, think now we need to add the aspect ratio. So to add this, you just need to, I think the prompt has been added wrong, so just going to change it to be added inside here. So what you need to do is you are going to add the aspect ratio. So let me just double check of the name. Does it have underscore? You'll see, yes, it has aspect underscore ratio. And you're going to add it like the prompt. You'll see the prompt inside the quotation mark. So you're going to do that for the aspect ratio, add it inside the quotation mark, and also add the values as quotation mark. And the aspect ratio is 16:9 because we are going to post it to YouTube. It's a long form videos, so that's why we have 16:9. And after this, you are good to go with image generation. You just click test. You'll see that it's generating the image. But before we do that, just let continue to the whole image generation. So what we do is generating the image first, and then we are going to wait for like few seconds. I added like 20 seconds here. And then we are going to check it again to see if it's done generated. And if it's done, we are going to move forward with the video generation. If it's not done, then we are going to loop around the wait node And then we are going to wait another 20 seconds to check back if it's done or not. Okay, so let me actually add a sticky note here to make it look more organized. I'm going to add here these sections for the images. Okay, so that's the first step, is generating the image. And the other one will be to wait. And then we add like 20-second wait time to give it a time to generate the image. And then after, we need to check the image status. So we're going to add another HTTP node, and going to add HTTP node here. And for the method, it will be get. And to be able to get the other instructions, you'll go back to the API reference, and you'll see that inside the HTTP, there is API reference right here. You'll see that this is a link to create the image. And if we go back, if you go down, scroll down, you'll see the get predictions. And this is a link to be able to actually get the image status. So you'll see that it's end up with prediction ID, and that prediction ID will be generated from the previous node, the one that's generating the image. It will give you an ID, and this ID is like a number that you are going to call for requesting the status of the image. And you go back to N8N, and then you're going to paste that one. We need to change the ID, but to be able to get it, we have to execute the node before. So first, we need to add our API key. So inside send headers, we will duplicate what we did inside the actual post node. We added the authorization, and we added the values, barriers, and the API key. So we will do the same thing. And I believe I don't know if they have the content type. Yeah, we add also the content type application JSON. So I'm going to copy this and add it here. And this is all we need. We just need to get the ID, and we will add it at the end here after the slash. So the ID will come from this node right here. So we need to execute this node. If you see this, the ID, it gives us an ID here. And also, if you look the status, it also add starting. So starting generating the image. So we're going to wait for 20 seconds. I'm going to pin this just in case we lost it. So I'm going to wait, and after we wait, that wait node will output the same thing we have in here. We are going to grab it and add the ID in the end here. So here, the wait node output the same thing. So we need to grab this ID and drag it at the end. Make sure you delete any space after the slash. So after we do that, now we can test this one and see if the image has successfully generated or not. So you'll see that the output is not empty. It's mean like it's have an URL, and this URL is the actual image. Now we need to go and generate our video. But before that, sometimes the image generation models, it might not give us the image right away. So what's happened if we didn't receive it here? We need to wait again, right? So what we will do, we'll add an if node to check if we receive the image or not. So we add this if node. So this if node will check if this URL is exist, it's mean like the image is done. So we're going to add output here, and we need to check if it's exist, because if it's exist, we need to move forward to the other nodes. But if it's not exist, we need to wait again. So I just click here and add it exist and convert the type where required. And then I'm going in false. It's mean like if it's not exist, we need to wait 20 seconds more and check, and we do the same thing. We check if it's done. If it's not, we keep looping till we have the URL. And then after we have this URL, you'll see here we are moved toward the video generation. You'll see the same 3 nodes, or the 4 nodes is the same. It's like the request to the AI model. And then we wait till the video is done. And then we check if it's done. If it's not done here, then we wait again. And then we check the video and see if it's done. If it's not, we keep looping till it's finally done. Then we move to the next section. So that's what we will do here for the video generation. So I'm actually going to copy all this here. We can duplicate it and then move it here, because all what we need to do is just changing the links and some other inputs in the models, and we should have the same thing. So I'm going to also duplicating the node and change the name here to video generation. All right, so let me actually find out what's the model we have here. We have the Minimax Video 01 Live. So this is a video generation model, and how you're gonna get it is you go to the same platform and you can search for Minimax, and you'll see the first one. This is the one we used. And to do the same thing, to know how to use the API, just click on the API and HTTP. You'll see that this is a reference and how to use it. You'll see that this is a link we need. So I'm going to copy it and do the same thing we did with the image generation. And the authorization, the content type will stay the same because this is the same platform. For the input will be different, because now the prompt will be the video prompt, not the image prompt. And the aspect ratio is the same thing, but there is other data we need. We need to also send the actual image to the video model. So the video model will take this image and animate it. And to do that, you just go to API reference, and you'll see that this is the data that's inside the schema here. You'll see that inside JSON, this is all the schema inside the input. There is a prompt, and there is a prompt optimizer. We don't need this, it's already defaulted true. And the first frame image, this is the one we are going to use. We are going to send the image frame, the first image we generated from the image generation model. So you are going to click add a new section here, add a first frame image, make sure it's inside the quotation mark. And you are just going to pass the URL that you got from the previous model, the previous generation model. But you'll see this is not connected. We need to connect this node here with the video generation model, and then you'll be able to see it. So just gonna execute the F node again. You'll see that we received all this previous node data that we can use inside this HTTP node. So what we need is the prompt for the video. And inside the Google Sheets section here, this is where we stored the prompt for the image and for the video. So you are going to go here in the Google Sheet, and then you are going to drag and drop the video prompt inside the quotation mark here. Okay, and now we need to add the image URL. The image URL, you'll see that we got it from the F nodes. This is the last thing. You'll see that it has the output, and this is the output URL that we have generated. We are going to drag it and drop it right here. So if we expand this, you'll see that the prompt is right here, populated nicely, and also the image URL is right here. I'm not sure if the aspect ratio is needed or not, because I don't see any schema that reference the aspect ratio. So I think they have a default. If we go to the playground, you'll see that there's no also reference to aspect ratio. I think they only output this 16:9 aspect ratio, so we can't add this here, so we have to remove it. So you just remove this, and that's all we need. Okay, so after we do this, we are going to wait, and I think we need to extend the waiting because this is a video generation model, not image, and video generation model, it takes longer. So probably gonna take like maybe 2 minutes or around this time. So just wait 1 minute, and then we're gonna go to HTTP node to check the status of the video generation model, and we will do the same thing as the previous node here. Then we might need to change the syntax here because what we're going to get from video, it might be different from what we got from image. So let me actually execute, and then we going to see what we're going to get. So first you'll see that it's the output null, and the status is starting, and we received the ID, and this is the ID that we need to check for the image. So I'm going to wait. We don't need to do it now. I just want to show you how it's going to wait, and then output the same result as in the HTTP node, and then we're gonna grab the ID from the wait node and check for the video. For getting the video, you need to change also the URL, and we will leave everything here the same because it uses the same authorizations, content type application JSON. So to know how to get the URL to be able to request the video, we are going to click on API, and API reference, make sure you choose HTTP. Click on API reference. You can also select it here. You'll see this is instructions when we creating the image or the video, and also this is instructions when we need to request the image after it's generated. So you'll see here the URL, the same thing I think as the image, and the ID going to be added after the slash, and the wait node has done, and we're going to grab the ID and add it here. Okay, so once we do this, you'll see that the video is either done or not. And then we have the same thing with F, but let me execute this here. I'm going to bin this node here just in case we lost it. So you'll see that the HTTP node outputs null, and this means that it's still processing. You'll see the status is processing, so the video hasn't been done yet. So that's why we're adding this if node to check if this URL from here, you'll see that output URL here. So I'm going to change this and add this output here is exist or not. If it's exist, now it's not exist, so it output false. But if it's exist, it will output true. But if it's false, it's going to wait again, and then it will check again after its wait, and then I'm going to do the same thing. So you'll see here, if I click here, you'll see that it's output false because the URL is still null. So what we need to do now, we are going to wait 2 more minutes, I think. and redo the same thing. Check it and see if it's done. Okay, now it's finished waiting. So let's see the status of the video. So you'll see now we have the output URL. So now if we click on F, you'll see it's output true. And now we can move forward to edit the video. So we need the video and we need the music URL so we can combine them both. So after this, we now need to edit the video and add the music to the video. So what we need to do, we just need to add an HTTP node to the editing platform. So you choose HTTP request and it's a post request. And the platform, it's called Automator API. You just can go there and you just can go there and sign up. And after you sign up inside the dashboard, this is where you can get the API key. So you click new key here, and then you will see that this key, that what we need to copy and paste it to the authorization here. So just first we need the URL. So to do that, again, you have to read the documentation. Any API platform will have API documentation. This is where you can look at all the services they have and how to use them. So in this platform, it has an API documentations, and what we need is the Lofi video API. So how to generate the Lofi video, you need to go to this endpoint, request the video from this endpoint. So I copy it and I add it here. And probably you need to add the API key, and you'll see this instructions in the top here. In the introductions, you'll see that the request, all API requests should include the following headers, the authorizations, and the barrier and the API key. So I'm going to copy this and I will toggle send headers, and then I'm going to add this and paste it here. And what I need now is the API key. So I'm going to go back to the dashboards. I lost the one here. I didn't copy it. You can copy it once. So I'm going to copy it again. And then I'm going to add it here. And also the request a content type application JSON. So you'll see the content type application JSON. So just copy this and add it here. Okay, once this done, as you need to do is to add the body, which is the data. So you are going to give this platform the audio and also the video, and then it's going to give you the final video. So here under the documentation, you'll see the Lofi video API. This is an instruction how to give the data. So you'll see the requirement, the audio, and the video and the audio, also the duration. So you can just copy it here and add it back to the body. So going back, and you see the content type JSON, the specified body will be using JSON. And inside the box here, you'll add this data. I think I copied the wrong one. Just this is what I need here. Okay, so for the video and the audio, I'm going to grab them from the models that we have before. So for the video, well, first I'm going to click on expression, and then I'm going to delete all this example. And I'm going to find where the video URL. You'll see that the video URL was output from the last F node, and this is the one here. And for the audio URL is the one we have generated at the beginning. So you can grab it from the webhook, or you can grab it from fnode here. And you'll see that I think it's source underscore audio underscore URL, and is the first one because there's two here. So we only need the first one. So this one right here. I think this both is the same. So just grab this one right here and then just add it right between the quotation mark. And the last thing is the durations, how many minutes. Usually this video is around 60 minutes. So I'm just going to add 60 minutes. And that's all. Once you click test, you'll see it will send the test request. It will send a request to generate this video. So I'm going to do that. You'll see the same thing. We have the status and also we have the job ID. So what we need to do is grabbing the wait node here and wait for the video to be done. I think now you get what this 3 nodes will do. So I'm just going to add them and we check the video once it's done. So I'm going to duplicate this here, and because it will have the same API keys and also the same content type, but I'm just going to turn this off because we don't need to send body. We just need to send the ID to get the video. So going back to the API documentation and look how we can get the video. You'll see that check the Lofi generation status. There is an endpoint. So I'm just going to copy it and add it here. And then you'll see the job ID. This is the one we need to drag it from the wait node. So I'm going to execute the wait node. I'll add a sticky note here to organize it. And I will rename it to edit the video. Okay, so the wait node is done. Now we need to grab the ID from the wait node. So I'm going to turn this to expression, and then I will drag and drop the job ID after the status. And then I'm going to click test. You'll see that I think we have something wrong here. Oh, okay, so the methods actually should be get. I duplicated without changing the method because we're getting the video. So that's why. So you'll see that we have the output URL. It's done. And we're just going to add this F node again in case it's not done and it's need to be processed. So I'm going to duplicate this one here and just change the value right here to be the output underscore URL. So it will check if it exists, and if it's not, it's going to loop back and wait. There's actually one thing that I forgot here is adding another Google Sheets to update the music URL. But I was actually able to grab it when we editing the video from the webhook itself. So I think it's not really important, but I think in the previous workflow, I added this URL here, and we will need the URL in the edited video node because we are going to use the video and the music URL, and I don't think we needed to add it to Google Sheets. If you didn't add it, the workflow works fine without any issues. Okay, so after we have this output URL and the F node, if we execute it, you'll see that it's output true. So what we need to do now is change this stage to done. And we also need to add this URL, the final one that we are going to post to here to the Google Sheet. So this all can be updated in one node, which is update row in Google Sheet. And we're going to change the Google Sheet document and the sheet name. And we're matching with ID. Can grab the ID from the Google Sheet we have here. We're only updating two things here, the stage and also the final video. So I'm going to delete everything except the final video and also the stage. So for the stage, you can click continue. Sorry, for the stage will be done. And the final video will be grabbed from the last node here. This is the output URL. So once we click test, you'll see that here the final video is populated inside the Google Sheet and the stage has changed to done. And let me now view the video. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video for today. If you want to grab this template or the Google Sheet, make sure to go to the link in the description. See you next time.